Good Chodesh Rabboisai. Hello. Gewaldig.
Great job, Ashi.
Rabboisai, we're going strong with the Shabbaton, and I want to share with you. Here we go. Baruch Hashem. Mr. Anonymous came through for $15,000. Binyomin Leibowitz, $2,000. Ilan Davidochi, how do you pronounce? Something like that. Davidovici, $5K. Lili Nishmas Armendel Ben Tamar. Fence Pros, $5K. Avi Kamiansky, $10,000. Anonymous, entire grape juice and half of the wine for the Shabbaton. Moshe ben Chana, Yehuda Gershon ben Sarah, L'Refua Shalema. We very much appreciate it. And if you know anybody, one of the large corporate sponsors that wants to jump in and help out, be mechazik yidden. There's a lot of people that can't afford it. They want to come. V'chulu. Speak to Yossi Klein. And once in a while, we are going to show their companies and promote them. V'chulu. Dear Belly, this moved me. This one in the past it's 5 minutes past midnight, and I just finished another Daf in Bava Basra, watching your video. Baruch Hashem, despite my Yetzer Hara trying its best, I missed Daf this past Shabbat, and still made it up yesterday and today. The reason for my letter is not to just to thank you for the Daf Yomi videos, which have been keeping me going in Bava Basra, but a humble request. I was active doing Daf Yomi with your videos since Gittin till October 7th. I was drafted to Tzahal at 9:15 a.m. on Simchas Torah, and I've been in Miluim continuously since then. That was not an option for months, as we worked night and day to keep Am Yisrael safe. When things calmed down after months, I was able to slowly get back to the Daf, and Baruch Hashem, I'm back to learning every day. My request is, while you rightfully mention a bracha for the hostages every day, it hurts me that there's no mention of a bracha for the soldiers. There are tens of thousands of soldiers putting their lives daily on line to rescue the hostages, and hundreds, if not thousands of them, also learning Daf Yomi. Many of them, even through MDY, they have a shaykhis to you. A simple daily mention for the safety and success of the Chayalim would be a huge thing, not just to remind the Tzibur Haloimdim that every single day there are soldiers fighting to keep the country safer, but it would also be mechazik many soldiers in the army. I didn't get off for Ben Azmanim. I haven't had a vacation since October 7th. And I didn't even keep Daf Yomi for the first 6 months of the war, but as soon as I could, I got back to the Daf, which I love learning with MDY every day. So I ask you, implore you, for the sake of Achenu Kol Beis Yisrael, to please add a bracha for the safety and the sake of our soldiers. With tremendous respect, appreciation, and admiration, Yossi Klavin, Captain, Miluim Manpower Officer, Gdud 8881, Chativat Ephraim, Ugdat, Yosh, Lilu Nishmas Eliyo Moshe Shlomo Tzimbalist Hashem Yinkom Damai, my nephew from Bet Shemesh who fell in Gaza, who learned Daf Yomi under the worst of all situations. All right, very powerful. Shlomo Bracha Shkar Gedale Moiriv Rabbi, in your schus I learned Daf Yomi every day. Like everybody says, it changes my entire day. In middle of Shir, I got a kiss from Hashem. It's interesting. Different people look at it different ways. Some people say it's a smack from Hashem. No, it's a kiss from Hashem. Everything's a kiss from Hashem. We're in the middle of learning about Morah Samachpelah, and he got, if you look on top, it says, Divuach Rishoni, Divuach HaYeri Le'ever Marat HaMachpelah. There's shooting towards Morah Samachpelah as this is on the screen of Machpelah. It says Machpelah. Very interesting. Dear Rebelli, thank you so much for your real clear shiurim that are so enjoyable to listen to, including the jokes and all the animations. I'm responding to what you were saying about Hashem as many ways to give parnasa. Reb Noyam, get over here. You don't understand how much I missed you. I'm responding to what you were saying about Hashem as many ways to give parnasa, and tricking the stores is not the way to get it. Rather, you could end up losing from someplace else. There's some sofer, you hear this, Rabbi? It's a beautiful some sofer who says, come here, I need a hug. There's a Chassam Sofer in Pirkei Avos on the Mishnah Marbin Achosim Marbin Dagger that explains. Wow. Thanks for coming back. Avi's not here. Mendy's not here. Nachman Seltzer's not here. This area empty.
These guys make up for it. Right here.
Let's see. This guy's pretty quiet. I want you to say bitkifos. Something bitkifos today. You hear this? Mar ben Achasim, it was Kedai, it came perfect. It's a good word. Mar ben Achasim, Mar bedaiga, says the Chassam Sofer, if I understand him correctly, that if you take something that's not really yours, you go to the store and do a trick, Hashem will take it away from you, but he'll also add the daiga component. If you don't do it, so you won't have it. But if you do it, you won't have it, plus you'll get daiga. Mar ben Achasim, you add nechasim to what you didn't really deserve. Mar bedaiga, you're going to add daiga. It's a beautiful vart.
Good to be back.
Yaakov Fisher, Mesechtes Nedarim, Mishkoich Reb Yankiv. Do we have to start Torah? Okay, in a minute. It is, you're right. Nat Sosan. Hi Rebelli, listen to your shir telling us about two of your kids having disagreement fight. I felt I had to chime in with one important and proven method to cut these fights short. Approach each of these kids every now and then, once or twice a week, with the question, is there anything I can do to help you resolve this issue? What will it take from my part to make peace here? I want you to know that a family feud is not healthy for you and your family if they're married. Repeat these similar questions often, even if you know the answer and they already told you so. Never, and I repeat, never tell them your feelings. Always make it about them. The nature of children is to listen to parents whenever it's about them, but will never listen when they feel it's all about the parents. Love and patience always pays off in the long run. Nathan, Yisher Koyach for the advice. All right, this is a long one. Be'ezer Hashem, I'll try to read it a different time. Arnov, he had a brush with a health thing, and the daf helped him. V'chulu v'chulu. Well, here he is. I'll try to read it tomorrow. I just want to make sure. This is I got a bunch of these literally today, yesterday, today. I want to say 3 or 4 of the same exact thing, and I read one last night. Here's somebody that says, I've been listening to your shir and I'm honestly addicted. Sometimes I just can't put down a Gemara. For about 4 weeks, I've been spending all my TikTok time scrolling through Shas instead of actual TikTok or Instagram. People are being real. We know what a lot of people do. There's a lot of YouTube, a lot of TikTok, Instagram. And he's being honest about it. I put down the TikTok and I'm doing the daf instead. Anyway, I'm spending Labor Day weekend at my parents' and I've been really trying to keep up with the daf while I'm away. And now, so happy vacations are over. I told my host that I'm obsessed with the daf. It's not about the daf, it's about the Yomi. I was bursting with ideas and things I learned from the shir until he said, it's better to learn an Amud a day than a daf a day. And I was like, wait, let's think of a comeback. But then I realized I was speechless and not sure what a good answer was. Would love to hear your thoughts and how I should have approached it. Haters, just be haters. Keep inspiring everyone. I'd love to hear a good comeback. Shianochum Blesnik. I mean, I would have said that an Amud is not good. Half an Amud is even better. And there's Ein L'Davar Soif. Amud a day is great. Half Amud a day is great. 2 daf a day is great. Some people learn 7 daf. My father gives a shir and 7 daf a day. He wants to put it on YouTube. There's all sorts of programs. For me, this works. For you, that works. I personally can't see myself being in a program for 15 years, trying to finish Shas in 50 years. It's too long for me. Even 7.5 years is long. I figure like this, if I'm not going to understand anything anyway, why not understand the half Amud or Amud? I won't understand the full daf, but I'll get to say I finished Shas after 7.5 years. Okay. What? Yeah, whatever. The kids it works very, very well in Daf Yomi. It's the most consistent program. The most Yidden, wherever you go, there's a shir. There's a lot of beautiful things, and I'm not knocking any other program. There's a lot of programs. Okay. This guy, I don't want to miss this. I know we have to start shir already. Hopefully I'll read it tomorrow, but he's from Chaval. I didn't read it last night. I had it on my emails last night because he's from Houston and he wants to start a whole Houston matzav. And there's a guy here from Houston who came and he had a whole camera and a whole thing. And if I would have read it, we could have made a shidduch over there. But okay, hopefully this. And here's, real quickly, I'm not going to read the whole thing. He's a real estate attorney in New York. And he says that the contracts are very interesting, the whole sugis. Afilu hachi shrufer the shtaruhu. It's better to put everything attached to the contract from New York City. That it says shemera asuyi betit. They have things like sheds, tool sheds, and it's like shemera asuyi betit. You also have window boxes, which are malbenoy shel chaloinois. Jeffrey Goldstein, and one of the cutest Good Morning Rabbi size of all time, and it's in Hebrew. Check this out. Put on mamish full volume. I love this guy. Listen to Anachamol. With the nice niggin, it was beautiful. I know this. Who's this kid? Yishai Ginsburg. Okay, Rabbi Yisai, here we go. Koil the month sponsored by Rosenfeld Batzloch in business. Mesech, the sponsor of the safe speedy return of all the hostages. And we need a Mesech, the sponsor, for $9,000 for the soldiers. Anybody stepping up? We need somebody. And until somebody steps up, the soldiers should have atzlacha, and they should come home quickly, and they should be able to learn the daf while they're there, and everybody should be safe. Parnas HaChodesh, Le'nishmas Zechariah ben Moshe, Le'nishmas Chaya bas Yosef. Parnas HaChodesh, Yedidya Pereira, thank you for your tfilos, B'chazdi Hashem. Yehonathan Yehуда ben Michal was granted bail to his home in the UK. Maybe Yedidya Pereira will switch his thing or something. Parnas HaChodesh, Binyomin Rosenfeld, with the gratitude, I see you thinking, you want to do the Chodesh thing, I see it. Binyomin Rosenfeld, with the gratitude of Biderman, Eli, Gedale, Fenster, and Michael Safdie. Parnas HaChodesh, Ari and Atara Stawis. Text, is he up? Oh. You're the guy that lives in your house when you're not around. What? In honor of our 15th year wedding anniversary and coming up on 2 years doing the Daf, Ari and Atara Stawis. Parnas HaShavua, official Mitzvah Motivators in memory of Yaakov, Shlomo ben Yechiel, Ofishel, father of Elchonon and Morah, Toby and Zaide of Mrs. Friedland and Yechiel, Elchonon, Hefter. Parnas HaShavua for Shlomo, speedy recovery from a heart surgery, David Berivka. Parnas HaYomi, Yisrael Helprin, where is he? Nishmaz, my father's 30th yard side, Elchonon ben Zev Doiv. He is? He is? Hi. He was about Koira, a Gabbai, and about Tefillah. Stop waving, only Yisrael wave. Here he is. Yisrael, Shlomo should have an Aliyah of Yisrael. Irvin Feldman, Penny and Rivki, Chodesh Elul, 46 years together, Baruch Hashem. And art of the month was Chus Rebellion and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Rabbi said very good news. Yitz came back today. We didn't scare him away yesterday. He's here. You know, Rosenbluth. He's in the back. Yirmi's good friend. All right, Rabbi say, here we go. Daf Samach Tesam Beis. Omar Rav. So yesterday we were talking about if a person sells a field and he says minus the trees. I'm selling you everything but not the trees. So it does not include palm trees. What kind of palm trees? Omar Rav kol sha'oiden loy bechevel havi shir. Something like this. This is a real picture. Here's some AI. Here's a Geshmaka one. If it's so tall that it requires a rope to scale the tree to get the fruit, then it's a tree b'fnei atzmai. It's not included in the field. It's something different. It's like a house. It's like another. It's something else. If it's a very short tree, you don't need a rope. This palm tree, then it's included in the field. Daf Ayin Amud Aleph. V'dayana goyla amri. Now, because it says dayana goyla, who are Shmuel and Karna, this is going to bring us a beautiful, shorter sugya about Ezuneshach sugyas. Iska. Okay? Don't get nervous, don't get scared. We're in and we're out. We're going to take a dip into Ezuneshach a little bit and come out at the Mishnah. But it's only because it says Dayana Goyla. These two words, the top words here in Daf Ayin. Because the Dayanim of Goyla, of Bavel, who are Shmuel and Karna, they said, Kol Shah Oil Koivshoy Loi Havishir. Oil Koivshoy. When you have the plow of the animals, if it could knock over the trees, and I got to tell you the story because I don't have that much here. I'm going to tell you a maisa that mamish has everything to do with the sugya.
She came out Haya.
It's Haya v'Haya. I have a video even. So you all know I love going to safari. Very first time I went to safari, I had beginner's luck and I had no idea. Mamish, I went there. Nobody told me what to expect, what not to expect. The first thing they ever showed us, they put us on a jeep, and within 5 minutes maybe, we saw, I have videos of it if anybody wants to see, 4 female lions and about 20 baby lions. And I went 3 more times after that, and I've never really seen baby lions so close. I mean, literally, I could have, and the Jeep is open, of course, and I could have reached down, and I got yelled at. It was mamish the first 5 minutes, and I was already misbehaving, camera out, in their face, kind of thing. And what I didn't know is also that this Jeep had a guy sitting on top of the hood. His feet were dangling close to the ground. They put this seat right by the light of the Jeep. And his job is literally to look on the dirt over there, the ground, to see if you could see any footprints. I didn't chap how good it was later on when I went, no, I'm a Navi. We didn't have that. So we had a lot of chashva things that first trip, which I didn't. So you all know that it's, okay, I'm not going to say the punchline here, but the bottom line is we're driving there, like maybe the first morning or so. And my wife is still nervous. How come the lions don't attack us? We're in this open Jeep and everything. And the guy has this gun on his dashboard, a big gun. And all of a sudden, the guy in the front of the Jeep, he waves his hand. He's like, "Ugh." So the guy makes a short stop, and they start talking and schmoozing and back and forth. And then he turns around and says, look, what he found is he sees a footprint of a leopard, but not just, it's fresh. And not only that, it looks like he was dragging something. And he shows us the footprints, and you see like this line and, maybe a little blood. I don't remember anymore. He says, we got to check this out. So he turns off the Jeep. The 2 of them go on a little spazier. 3 minutes go by, 4 minutes go by. My wife says, wait a minute, he left the gun on the dashboard. I said, that's for us if we ever get into trouble. And she's all nervous that the line's going to come. 10 minutes go by, nothing. They finally get back. They're all excited, the huffing, puffing. They located the leopard. So they get in, they start going. Now, there's trees. They literally mowed down little trees, this something this high, mow it down. There was massive rocks. They went on the rocks. Oh, I never had a thing like this before. They had to get there to this. It was like in a valley. Kids, they got there. We were the only people there, the only Jeep. And the law is you have to call in. If you see something like that, you have to call in. That's the minhag. Until anybody was able to get there, we were there by ourselves. And what do we see? I've never seen this before or after. Well, obviously not before. I'll show you. Not one leopard. It takes days to find these leopards. Sometimes you go there for 2 days. 2 leopards in a tree with 2 carcasses. Here we go. But it's a very bad quality picture because I took it and it was early in the morning and the light was from this. 2 of them, a mother and a son, a murdik. And this has everything to do with the sugya because if the tree was big, we wouldn't be able to get there and it'd be b'fnei atzmai. This is... Enjoy this video while look, it's unbelievable. You see the carcass hanging in the tree like that? They drag the power that they have. They're able to lift up this animal that weighs a couple 100 pounds with their mouth. They can drag it into the tree so that the lions can't get to it. The hyenas can't get there. And the hyenas were actually below the tree waiting for little bits and pieces that were falling down, which did. As they're eating a little piece and they were making noise. Anyway, we were there for like 20 minutes all by ourselves. No, is that not a chashav to find? 2 in a tree, not 1. Anyway, I didn't chap how chashav was back then. Years later. Yeah, zog the Gemara. Kol sha'oil kaifshay. If when the axe drives, the tree comes down, knocks it down, then it's part of the field. Anything stronger? This is a mamish. It's shot in the sugi. I had to say the whole story, of course. Kol sha'oil kaifshay lo yavishir. Kol she'eno oil kaifshay havishir. Kol sha'oil kaifshay. If the axe can knock it down, the Jeep can knock it down. Today we have Jeeps. We don't have axes. That's why lo yavishir. Then you cannot. It doesn't remain for the balabais. It goes together with the field. It's all part of it. If it's a tree that's strong enough that a axe can't knock it down, a Jeep can't run over it. Have a shear. I can leave it for myself. It's not 2 different halachas. One, we're talking about a rope, climbing up with a rope, or knocking it over with a Jeep. When it comes to a palm tree, the shear has to do with a rope. If you need a rope to climb up, because a palm tree doesn't have branches. So how do you climb up a palm tree? The only way to climb up a palm tree is with a rope. But a regular tree that's branches, you just grab one branch, you get to the next, and so over there, the shear is different. It has to do with knocking it over or not. Ha be'elani. Boy, mine Ravacha bar Huna Rav Sheshes. Chutz mecharav ploini, chutz mesadam ploini mau. So we had similar shilas in the past, and this is a question: if a person talks stupidity, do we care? Do we put any importance to shtusim or not? When I sell you a field, it does not include the house on the field. It does not include important large trees. It doesn't include anything that has a shem b'fnei yatzman. So when a person says, I'm selling you this field, but I'm not selling you the house on the field, so he's talking shtusam. He doesn't have to say it. I'm selling you a field. Of course, it doesn't include a house. When a person says, I'm selling you this field, besides this tree, this giant tree that we said, a giant sycamore tree, a carob tree, is not included. So why is he adding these words besides this tree? Now, he's not a Tana, he's not an Amayra. Do we have to look into his words? What he meant is, I'm selling you this field besides this tree, but maybe the other giant sycamore trees are included. Start being inferred from his words. Or no, he's talking shtusim. People a lot of times say, they blabble, they throw out things that don't make any sense, and forget it. Don't put any importance to his words. And in fact, the Gemara says, don't listen to him. Stop talking shtusim. So when a guy says, chutz mecharav ploini, it's anyways included. Chutz mecharav ploini. All carob trees are not included. Chutz mesadam ploini, they're not included. Here, the sycamore tree on the right, the carob tree on the left, they're not included. So why would he add those words? And besides this, the Gemara is going to make a strong case for it, even more than this. We'll see in a second. Mahu. Was he trying to say, I dafka don't want to give you this particular carob tree, Hashar Charuvim Kani, but the other carob trees you are koina? He still added these words to make his position stronger, but he didn't want to make any diyukim, and then he should infer from my words, X, Y, Z. Amalei loy kana. Nothing. He didn't change anything. Eisvei, the guy purchasing didn't acquire any other tree. Loy kana. Eisvei. Chutz mecharav ploini. This is our question. The guy says, I'm selling you this field besides this carob tree, chutz mesadam ploini, besides that sycamore tree. These are, of course, mature trees, not the ones that we spoke about yesterday, the babies. These are the real deal. Loikana, the buyer didn't acquire the tree. That tree. My love, perhaps we could be medayik. That tree he didn't acquire, but we are medayik from his words that, or medayik in the sugya, that we're medayik in his words, that the other trees are included. And here's the beautiful raya that the Gemara says, to make it stronger. Teida. Check this out. So yesterday, by the way, 2 days already, Yoshi was out of commission. He says he's coming back today. He sold his house and he had to paint it and, the whole selling and moving. He moved houses from Gimel to here. He's going to live closer by. So 2 days he's out of commission. So the art is not up to par, but Toby Goldschmidt, our editor in Hebrew, he stepped in and he did a lot of things here. So here's one of the things he did. I didn't even ask him. He took it on his own. I told him that we don't have, if he could do whatever he could do, and he went through the sugya and he did this. Over here you see Reuven owns 3 fields. Reuven is selling field number 1 here. Soda Hanimkar. Field number 1 he's trying to sell. And then he sticks in, but I'm not selling you field number 2. So what are you going to infer? That field number 3 he did sell. He's saying specifically, I'm selling you field number 1 and not 2. Oh, so Mela field number 3, yes, that's impossible to think that. And Mela, you should know, says the Gemara, that a sycamore tree is a field. It has its own halacha, it has its own zip code. It's in a field, but it's its own thing. And Mela, when I stick in these words, besides this, don't start making cheshbainas, besides this, but palm tree number 3 is included. Palm tree number 3 and field number 3 are the same exact thing. And Memela, nothing's included. I'm selling you a field and only one field, and that's it. Nothing else. So, Nachamal, Taida, I'll prove it to you. I'm selling you field number 1. Chutz mesad plainis besides field number 2. Ayuda like Kani, only field number 2 he wasn't kaina. What do you tell me that field number 3 is kaina? Of course not. Ela loikon. Of course, field number 3 doesn't get. Hachanami, when it comes to trees, it's the same exact thing. Loikon. I said I'm selling you field number 1, but not tree number 2. It doesn't mean that you get tree number 3. Tree number 3 is also not included. And some put another spin on it. They make it a little more tough, a little easier to understand why perhaps the buyer should get some of the tree. Why? Check this out. He says, take the right. I'm only selling you half a tree. Now this gives us reason to believe that the other half, yes, that's a lot stronger. Why do you say half a tree? That's mamish meshuggah to say words like that. A tree, you want to say he was focused on one, but he didn't realize the others, and he didn't care about the. But in one tree, he's saying, I'm not selling you half, meaning that the other half, I am selling you. I'm not selling you the green part, but that other funny color part, I am selling you. Okay, that makes more sense. And for that, the Gemara is also going to bring a similar right to what we said with the field. Besides the tree, certainly the other larger carob trees are not included in the sale. Perhaps you could say that half this tree, at least he gets half the tree. Or Dilma, we're talking about the guy talking shtusim. He's saying silly things because we're not even talking about the tree. The tree is not part of the field. I'm selling you a field. So why is he saying, but I'm not selling you my kid. I'm selling you the field, not my kid. I'm not my child. I'm selling you the field, but not half the tree. Talking shtusim, get out of here. We're not listening to anything about the tree. You get only the field. In fact, he doesn't get any of the tree, not even half. It's the same thing, but with a little bit of a stronger punch. I don't remember that. Make a bracha here. Probably not. A guy says, Mam shower case. I'm selling you everything I'm selling you the field besides a half a carob tree. Besides a half a sycamore. Shacharum lekana, he certainly doesn't acquire the other trees. My love, shacharum lekana, hamashashir by zechariah kana. We can die from lashon and brayso that you do get half a carob tree. Amalei loy, he doesn't even get the other half, the funny colored half. Afilu mashashir by zechariah nami lekana. Taida, and here comes the proof, similar proof to the fields, but now we're talking about a half a field. Let's see inside. Here's the chart, or outside on the chart. I'm selling field number 1. And then I add to the Tnai, the seller adds, but not half a field number 2. Selling you field number 1, but not half a field number 2. Also, you're going to make a diok, but half a field number 2, where it says number 2 over there in blue, that you should get. Because why did he say half field number 2? No, I'm selling you field number 1. My focus is on 1, and everything else that I said after that, I was blabbling. I didn't say. It didn't make any sense. Besides half a field number 2. Only that half he's not kaina, but the green half he was kaina. Of course, he didn't acquire anything from the second field. So too in our case we said I'm not selling you half a carob tree. He doesn't get any of the carob tree lekani shalom ayisrael. So here goes the sugya of iska and izuneshe chamekabel boimini Rav Amram mirav Chizda. Again, it's brought down here, the sugya, which almost has nothing to do with our sugya, but it's brought down here because the top words of the Amud say the words Nayana Goyla. Rav Amram Rav Chizda. Yes, Rav Chizda, it's kedai to remember Rav Chizda. Hamafkid is chaveri b'shtar, v'amar loi hichzartim l'cha mao. Okay, so refresh our memory. Hamafkid. Hamafkid means that the guy on the left is giving the guy on the right something to watch here. And they took a piece of toilet paper, made a shtar out of it. Why it's toilet paper? I don't know. Chaspa ba'alma, gave him a shtar. It's with a shtar. Also, for those who are new and haven't been to Bava Basra, let me show you what a mafkid looks like. This guy is going on a vacation or something, and he wants somebody to watch his goldfish. Okay?
Ashi, get ready.
very quiet. No, I was just saying, just don't wake him up. He's good. He's good. Dr. Epstein, first time you've seen this? Where were you in Bava Basra, Dr. Epstein?
Here.
See, it's Gedale once in a while. Okay, anyway, that's a mafkid. The mafkid means to have somebody else watch your stuff. There's a halacha when it comes to a mafkid. Here, if you do that, you give your goldfish over to somebody to watch, and there was Adam that saw that he received the goldfish, he could claim that he gave it back. He doesn't have to. I gave it back. You don't have to do it with Adam. So by Rav Aaron Rav Chisda, mafkid is chaver b'shtar. There's a shtar. V'omar lo yichzartem lecha. And he claims, I gave it back to you. Mao. Mi amrino migudi boy omar nensu mehemon. If the guy that's watching the goldfish, if he's a liar, he could have just said, the goldfish, there was an accident, the cat ate the goldfish. He would have been believed. Hashtanami mehemon. So too, if he says, I gave it back to you, he's also believed. That's a migoy, classic migoy. If he's a liar, if you're saying that he's lying, he could have lied a better lie. He could have said nenas. Something happened to the goldfish passed away during your vacation. What are we going to do? Save a dead goldfish? I flush it down the toilet. So Meli says, I gave it back. What? Nenas? Because there's no questions asked. So we don't know. But I'm potter on Einas. What else? What can you say? It wasn't Einas. It was Einas. Finished. We're going to see that might be a shvua. Let's see. And this is the contention. This is the question. Why in the world, if you returned it, why is the shtar still by me? I have a shtar that says that you are watching my goldfish. Here, he did it with a shtar. We even see in this picture over here, there's a shtar, right? If you returned it, you should have asked for the shtar. That's so powerful that it's as powerful as if Eidim are testifying here. It's a very strong taina. Why is the shtar in my hand? To the point that we say there's another concept in Shas called Migui b'mokim Eidim lo yamrinon. If there's Eidim that testify one thing, you can't say, but I have a Migui, I should be believed. No. That's when it's your testimony. But when you have Eidim that say against you, over here, it's like Eidim, it's so strong. It's a big taina. Why is the shtar in my hand? Why didn't you request it back? Amalei, Mehemon, there's a migo, he's believed. So again, what does Rav Chisda say? Believed. A person is believed to say, I gave it back. End of story. That's Rav Chisda. Atkan, Hakov Aleph, very simple. You gave me a goldfish to watch. I could claim I gave it back to you. I certainly could claim that something bad happened to it, and I would be believed. But I could also say, I gave it back to you. I don't care about that. As the Gemara, what happened to that guy? It's a great taina. Why should you be believed? Okay, let's look at this. Rav Chisda says back. When a guy says something bad happened to it died. So he'll turn around and say, but I have a shtar. No, it died. So there is no taina of shtarcha b'yadim ma'bai. The nenas takes away the taina of shtarcha b'yadim ma'bai. Again, if any watcher guy, the guy that's watching the goldfish, could claim something bad happened to your goldfish, the guy that gave the goldfish, the owner of the goldfish, cannot say, so why am I holding a shtar that says you're watching my goldfish? Obviously, that doesn't make any sense. Yes, you have a shtar, but he died. He had a tragic death. He's in the toilet right now. He's in the sewer system somewhere. Go find him over there. Something bad happened. You can't say, shtarcha b'yadim ma'bai. So nenas gets rid of shtarcha b'yadim ma'bai. So maybe I don't have that taina. So even when I say ichzarti, I don't have the taina shtarcha b'yadim ma'bai because I could have said nenas. So nenas erases that taina. Omelei daf Amud Beis Soif ki omelei nensu lav shvu bai. Wait a minute. Even when he says that something bad happened to it, he's going to have to swear. So even when he says ichzarti, he's going to have to swear. So he says, Hochenami, my Neman. I, Rav Chisda, when I say that he's believed to say, he gave it back. Neman b'shvua. You're right. He must swear Daf Amud Beis, sponsored by, I think this is the last day. Sponsored by Yisrael Sher, a great guy. He sits right over here. And he's in Manchester now. Construction management and supervision, and the Life Share community protecting families today before tomorrow's unexpected loss. I think tomorrow we have two new sponsors, and one of them is Lili Nishmas, the 6 killed hostages from yesterday. Kinnovations LLC in honor of my uncle, Rebbe Chanan Pressman. You should have an Achamo who's sitting Shiva right now, Rebbe Chanan, and Ofishel, and as a schos for Akiva Simcha ben Fega, and Rivka Yehuda's Bas Yafa Chaya. Do we have somebody on Zoom for a minute, for half a minute? Who'd you pick? If you want, we could go weiter and get back to what? Here, put it on the screen meanwhile so you can see the process. Oh, I know this tzaddik. By the way, Toby Reich from Zoom, he's on Zoom every day. He's sitting Shiva for his sister. Shlomo should have an aliyah. He's on mute still. They're just on mute. Here he's trying to get out of it. Talk meanwhile. Shalom Aleichem. Wie heißt die? Yossi Küssler from Vanen? Borough Park. Shalom Aleichem. Rabbi Yossi from Borough Park. How long are you doing this year with us?
The dorm.
Since in the dorm. You came to some of the events. I know you're from some of the places, no?
Yes, I was an MDY also.
You're an MDY, that's what it is. Okay, gewaldig. Shabbaton, that's it. That's what I figured. Okay, so you're on Zoom every day?
I tried. Yeah.
You try. Is it geschmack? Is Zoom geschmack? We want to tell the island that it's different than YouTube, no?
Of course.
All right, Rabbi Yossi. That's right. It's a community, it's a mishpucha. Yishkoyach, a guten chodesh, a guten elul, psuras toives. Yishkoyach for joining us. Leimo beplukte da anetanoi. So Rav Chizda is the one that says that a person, there was a pikadon, I gave you a goldfish, I can say I gave it back to you, and there's no taina of shtarcha biyadi my boy. Why am I holding on to a star that proves that you're holding my goldfish? Since I could say on the goldfish that something bad happened to it and I would be believed b'shvuah, so I'm believed to say that I gave it back to you with the shvuah. L'chayra, this is a machlokes tanoim as well. Leima b'lugdan tanoim, the sanya. Star kiss hayoytz ali yisoymim. All right, Rabbi said this is beautiful. We even have a whole, this is mamish easy. I'll tell it to you about peh, then I'll show you the whole thing. It's called iska. It's very, very simple. I have a way to give you $100,000. You give me interest, and I'm not over on ribis. How do I do it? I do iska. I make a deal with you. We're partners. We're 50-50. I could give you, let's say here, we'll show it through this. I could give you merchandise, or I could give you $100,000. The guy on the left takes the merchandise and does business with it. Then we split profits. The guy on the left could take $100,000, go to China, buy stuff, sell it, and then with the profits he pays me back. Look, I could hire the guy on the left. The guy on the right, he's a gvir. He hires a worker to go for him to China, buy zchayra, do business, make money, and he takes all the profits, pays the guy a salary. So like this, instead of him working for him, he gives him a loan / a pikadon. How do you say pikadon in English? A deposit. So what we're doing here, Iska works is the $100,000 is 50-50. It's 50% the loan, 50% the deposit. The 50% loan, the guy on the right takes full responsibility. The 50% deposit, the guy on the left takes full responsibility. Okay? Huh? It's more of it's an investment / deposit. I don't like collateral so much. Collateral is more in a... Okay. So that's the basic idea. I just want to say real quickly before I forget, I want to say goodbye to YY. YY is sitting right across from me, right over here. He is a starker bacher. He was in high school for years. He comes every single day, morning and evening, and he's done a lot of stuff for the shir. And now he's graduating and he's going to Yeshiva Gedale in Beitar. And unfortunately, we're not going to see him that often so much. So, Yishkoyach for being here, mamish every day. Starker guy. Shachris. He comes for Shachris. He comes for Ma'ariv. Good guy. And he's a professional scooter driver. He's one of the best on those two-wheeler guys. And he's a cheverman also. He has a company that he rents. He has 60 scooters that he rents with his man. He makes some money. He knows how to break into the kitchen. He has a lot of chashav zachen. Anyway, so we wish you a lot of luck and a lot of atzlacha steiging in yeshiva. And all the bachrim, we're going to miss you. Hopefully you were able to continue ben azdarim doing the daf. Anyway, we move on. So here it goes. So they are 50% partners. Half of it is a pikadon, half of it is a loan, and when they have profit, they split the profit. Now, here's a little trick. I just want to show you real quickly. There's a Rashbam here. He takes 10. This is not so meduyuk. I want to show you the Rashbam. Very, very important Rashbam here. Okay, I'll read it. You don't have to read it. You can read it with me. The Rashbam is like 4 lines from where it becomes wide. You could start like the Dibur Mask where it becomes wide in your Gemara. That's where it starts. A few lines in, it says like this. Rabbanon were misaking this so it should work well for the loiva and the malva. Each one takes responsibility. The reason why it's not interest is because the lender is taking responsibility on the money as well. If everything was lost or stolen, the borrower is not going to lose 100%. It's gonna go. They're gonna divide the loss as well between the two. The stomach the milsa kenu. The palga have a malva gabe. Half of it is a loan. So he says a very, very important thing. This is what I wanted to show you. That because we have a big problem here. Why in the world is the guy on the right going to China, spending 3 months buying cell phones, selling them here? And he's giving you profit. Why? He's working for free? The reason he's doing it is because you lent him money. What is that called? Ribis. So how do I get out of that problem? By giving the lender more loss or less gain. Either less profit or more. If it's a 50-50, it makes no sense and it's pure interest. But if the lender takes less gain, less profit, or more, he takes upon himself more loss, then we don't have a problem of interest. And what?
More risk.
More risk. You're right. That's a perfect word. Yishkoich Nachman. Appreciate it. B'shoka palga ba'aga, keno de palga avi. Tzorach hanayz l'kavalov, trade till to behefsid. Hoyel v'shokal palga ba'agar. He has to take 2/3 of the loss. Why? Because he's taking half of the profit. Heavy ribis, that should be ribis. Oh, and the reason the other guy, he's taking money for working hard, not because, that's how we get out of the interest part, because the borrower is taking money for working. He will only get 1/3 of the profit. There's another way to do it, is by him getting less profit. Okay, we'll go weiter. That's the idea of iska. Okay, aregalachas. So it goes like this.
It's talking about it's going to be goods or money.
Both. He wants to know if it's also money, also goods. Same thing. Says the Gemara like this. Shtarkis means that there's a shtar of an investment. This iska was written down nicely. The father is the guy going to China. The father died in China. Now, the lender says, hey, Yisaimim, you owe me money. They say, what do they say? No, our father paid you back. So, l'chayra, it's our question in our sugya. Could a person say, the lender will say, why do I have a shtar? If your father really paid me, why do I have a shtar? And the other ones will say, no, that's not a taina. So let's see inside. Dayana Goyla. Who's Dayana Goyla? Anybody remember? Shmuel and Karna. Amr Nishba v'goy v'kuloi. He swears and he gets everything. The lender, the gvir gets the whole thing back. V'dayon Eretz Yisrael Amri, Rebami Rebasi say in Eretz Yisrael, Nishba v'goyve mechza. He only gets half. Now, you have to remember, Rabbi Yisai, very, very important. When it comes to Iska, half of it is a loan, half of it is deposit. What do you call it? An investment. Half is an investment, half is a loan. On a loan, you can't say nenas. Oh, I borrowed $1 million from you. I'm sorry, I can't pay it back because I was held up at gunpoint. Too bad. There's no oinus on a loan. But on the half, on the 50% that's an investment, he could say nenas. And the Mela, the Dayanim Eretz Yisrael say, therefore, since he could have claimed there was a nenas on 50%, Nishba v'goyve mechza, that's why he could only get 50%. Because the father has a good claim on the 50%. But the father's not alive. Who's making the claim? The Yisaimim. So we're making a claim for a Yosem. There's a famous Rebbe Chanan Wasserman here that you see that a Migui is a Koyach HaTaina. Okay, when we're in Yeshiva, a whole deal. And everybody holds like Nardo, which we explained. Half of it is a loan and half of it is an investment. This is the machlokes that we said on Amud Aleph of Rav Chisda. The Marsava Motzi. By the way, the sugi is going to be over in 7-8 lines. So if you're nervous and you have trauma from Ezu Neshach Mukal, it's over in a minute. My love, the Marsava Motzi Omer Leshtorcha B'Yodim Ma Boy. I could say, did they go to say, why in the world does the investor have a star? If the father in fact paid, even if you're claiming he paid half, he should have asked for a receipt. My boy. Umar Savar Loi. It's like Rav Chisda. You don't say Shtorcha B'Yodim my boy. That what? He's believed that half had an oinus, and the other half he's chayiv on. Yeah. So B'kitzur, Rav Chisda is a machlokes tanaim. Says the Gemara, Loi. No. Different svaras are going on over here. Amri Loi. Dikule al misluder Rav Chisda. Everybody holds like Rav Chisda that what we believe a guy when you give him a goldfish to watch, he's believed to say, I returned it. Everybody else like Rav Chisda. And the time of Shtorcha B'Yadi, my boy, it doesn't exist. Over here by Yisayim, something else. If it's true that the father returned it, he would have said something to his kids. He would have said, hey children, I paid it back. Don't worry about that guy. Maybe he was killed in a car crash and he never had a chance to tell his kids anything. Tell you real quickly, there was a guy that was doing chesed. He went to a hospital and he was looking for people to visit, and he found a guy that didn't have relatives, and he went there, and he was just there for a few moments. And the guy says to him something weird in a weird language, Uchu puchu pami. And he looks at him and he dies. So the guy's in shock. He's doing bika chaylam, and the guy just passes away. So he waits around over there, and finally the son shows up. And he says, I was zeicha to be by your father as he's mamish by Yitzis Neshama. And he said, Uchu puchu pami. Well, what does Uchu puchu pami mean in your language? He says, it means, could you please get off my oxygen line? There's a little bit of it happened quickly. The Malchamavis came and got rid of this guy. So okay, we're not doing anything new now. This is what we had until now. Now what? Rav Huna bar Oven says that if I lend you, I ask you to watch my goldfish and I write a star on it, and the guy claims that he gave it back, Neman. He's completely believed. Like who? Who says that he's believed? Rav Chisda. Oh, I could have showed you this, but lo mashana. Here. Dayan Goyla say Nishba v'goyve kuloi. Dayan Eretz Yisrael Nishba v'goyve chetzi. So shtar kis hayotz al Yisayim. Similar case that there was a deal going on in investment, and now the guy that took the investment, he died. So the investor goes to the Yisayim and says, pay up. Nishba v'goyve kuloi. Now we look at this chart. Who does it go like? Like Dayan Goyla. Like Karna and Shmuel, then Nishba v'goy v'kulay. As the Gemara Tarti, l'chayr it's a contradiction. Why? Because the first part we said that a person is believed to say, I returned it. And over here also we said that there's a little bit of an investment, a little bit of a loan. And he's not believed b'chalal. Why don't we taina for the Yisayimim that he returned it? If a person is believed that a person could say he returned it, then even if he dies, we're going to say that claim for the Yisayimim. Says the Gemara, Shani Hasan, the Pari Mimahava Omar. If it's true that indeed he gave it back, he would have told his kids. He never told his kids anything. Now let's take a look at the chart. Rava says that the halacha is you make a shvuah and you get half. That's like Dayane Eretz Yisrael. Omar Marzutra Hilchasek Dayane Goyla. No, the halacha is like Dayane Goyla Nishba v'goy v'kulay. Omar Marzutra Hilchasek Dayane Goyla. Omar Le Ravina Marzutra Omar Rav Nishba v'goy v'mechza can't be. Rava says like Dayane Eretz Yisrael. Omar Le Anandi Dayane Goyla Ibchem Asnin Allah. We do one of these. I don't know how to do it anymore. Used to be better. That Dayane Goyla say the opposite. They say Nishba v'goy v'chetzi exactly like Rava says. Rabbi Sai, have a good chodesh, a good day. Shkoyach for coming.